We were recently in Oklahoma City for the Congress For New Urbanism's annual conference to learn about missing middle housing. We're now in Austin, Texas to check out some more of this awesome housing type. Today I'd like to explain what the missing middle is, how you can generate wealth from it, and create amazing housing options for your community. So let's dive right in. Welcome back. I'm Andy from Sweet Additions, where we help homeowners and investors build better homes while creating lasting wealth with legal additional suites. Download our free guides at www.sweetadditions.com to get started. And please do us a huge favor by giving us a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can get more content out. Okay, right now I'm standing in front of a fantastic new missing middle housing development here in Austin, Texas. You can see those buildings behind me, which used to be dominated by single-family homes. So what exactly is the missing middle? The term missing middle was coined by the architect Daniel Parolek to describe a range of multi-unit or clustered housing types compatible in scale with single-family homes that help meet the growing demand for walkable urban living. These housing types include duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, row houses, and townhouses, and some consider low-rise apartments to be part of the missing middle. Of course, second suites, garden suites, or ADUs are part of that as well. Now, if you look across towns and cities in North America, they're often dominated by a very dense central business district that are primarily for commercial purposes. And then you have extremely low-density single-family homes in suburban neighborhoods across the rest of the city. Now, in order for us to meet the ever-increasing demands for housing and create more affordability, we need to add missing middle housing in many of these existing low-rise neighborhoods. This is the kind of densification that is ideal for a large geographic area of the city that are already dominated by single-family homes. Now, the reason it's important is that if you look at suburban neighborhoods across North America, despite a net population growth, many of the suburban areas are actually in decline in the number of people living there. Here's a zoning map for the city of Toronto. The red areas show the existing high-density areas where much of the new housing is being developed. The yellow part, also loosely referred to as the yellow belt, is dominated by single-family homes. Because of the high cost, many families are unable to access these neighborhoods and their amenities such as parks, community centers, and schools. And despite our huge population growth, many of these homes have very few people living in them, to the point of under-enrollment of schools in the neighborhood. Ryerson University has a great report called Density Done Right that discusses this in detail. The link to that is in the description below. And another big issue which I like to discuss are the economics of missing middle housing. In every city and town across North America, the high-density areas are a net asset for the city or town, while the low-density areas are a net liability. Here are some charts from Urban 3 showing how profitable the dense areas are in a city, while the low-density suburban areas are actually losing money. Effectively, this means that the downtowns and high-density corridors are subsidizing the suburbs. Now, the title of this video is Creating Wealth with Missing Middle Housing. We know that it creates wealth for the city, but how does it create wealth for you? Well, if you were to develop this type of housing or be in an industry serving any of these projects, you stand to profit. These housing options are very attractive to people because they are in line with new urbanism principles of density, walkability, access to amenities, and transit. Let's discuss the ways that you can create wealth using some examples of projects we checked out in Oklahoma City and in Austin, Texas. In already relatively high-density corridors, such as homes along existing commercial activity and transit, it makes sense to have larger mixed-use residential and commercial spaces. These can be new construction or retrofitting an existing building. Here's an example of a low-rise mixed-use building in an area that already has some density and good access to transit. To the right of this, you have a small 4-unit apartment, which previously only had old single-family homes. Once you get into the very low-density areas, the lowest hanging fruit, of course, are second suites, garden suites, or accessory dwelling units, also known as ADUs. Check out some of these cool ones that we visited here in Austin, Texas. Other options include small-scale infill development. Here's a development where very old single-family homes on a single lot were torn down. Oklahoma City had allowed the lot to be severed into 2 lots as of right, so now you see semi-detached homes. Here's a development where the owner was able to turn a single corner lot into 4 lots and build 4 individual single-family homes. Now, the last couple of examples may not have fit the exact definition of missing middle, but nonetheless, they are very good projects to add density to what previously were very low density areas. Now, we can spend hours showing you examples of great missing middle housing projects, but the goal of this video is really just to introduce the concept to you and how everyone can truly benefit from this. From an economical, social, and environmental standpoint, it really is a no-brainer. Often missing middle housing is correlated with new urbanism, which promotes good design, modest density, and are pedestrian and transit friendly. Often in the old parts of downtown that was established over a century ago, you have a mix of commercial, residential, and other use buildings. Immediately surrounding those areas, you may have some of the missing middle housing types we described above that were already there. So we don't actually need to reinvent the wheel. New urbanism is actually old urbanism. Think about it. These are the areas that a lot of people want to visit on the weekends or on their vacations. Why not create it in the places we live as well? Ultimately, it's a win-win-win for those who will develop this housing, the municipality, and the residents that are living there. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on missing middle housing? Are these the kinds of places that you want to live in? Is there a particular missing middle housing type that you prefer? Please share them in the comments below. Again, please do me a huge favor by liking this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Keep creating better homes while generating wealth, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to learn more about investing in housing densification and how you can get involved, hit that subscribe button. I put together a beginner's guide and also a handy 8-point checklist that covers everything you need to know about adding a legal second suite. We cover important bylaw and building code requirements for cities in Ontario and all the design considerations you need to make to successfully complete your project. You can download that through the link in the description below. Until next time, to your success.